guys, welcome to our garage. Today I'm going to take some time out, and actually today and tomorrow I'm going to take some time out and I am going to show you the process that I use to brew compost tea. So first of all, I want to mention that this is not an advertisement. The things that you see here on this table were not sent to me. I am not advertising for any of this. This just happens to be where I get my materials from and the materials that I choose to use. So I want to take a minute and I want to talk to you guys about soil health. In order for soil to be healthy, it needs to be a diverse ecosystem. This ecosystem is loaded with microbes, bacteria, protozoa. Never do we really take the time to look down at the ground and think about what lives in the soil and how much of it is really there. So one of the things that I do to increase the health of my soil is I use compost tea. So in a nutshell, what we are doing is we are going to take a compost tea brewer, which I have a bubble snake kit, which I will talk to you about in a little bit, and we are going to use that to, over the next 24 hours, create an aerobic environment where we're going to brew bacteria and fungus. And then we're going to take it and we're going to feed it to the plants. It also has nutrients in it, and these nutrients in this form are going to be readily available. So the plants behind me, these are some of the basils that we seeded a couple of weeks ago. Now some of these basils, I should have done this about 2 weeks ago, because if you notice, they really have a light color. I want these to be a darker green because they don't have enough nutrients. I even have some yellowing on the leaves. Some of the baby leaves have turned white and fallen off. The compost tea that I choose to use and that I'm going to show you how to brew is actually very basic. There are only 3 ingredients. Those 3 ingredients are earthworm castings, humus, and water. So really quick, I want to talk to you guys about earthworm castings. Ideally what this is earthworm poop. Sounds really disgusting, especially when you have to stick your hands in the bags and play with it. Now these earthworm castings have an NPK ratio of 5:3:3. It's also loaded with the micronutrients iron, sulfur, and calcium, which plants need. And this is going to be a great boost for the plants that I have started, and then I'm going to use it on some of the shrubs and some spots in the lawn where we're not getting very good grass growth. And this is Arctic humus. So humus is, especially this is from Alaska. This is just ancient breakdown decayed material from forests out in Alaska. So one really important thing to know about humus is that it is loaded with carbon, and carbon is actually microbe food. So as we're brewing this microbe and bacteria bath for the next 24 hours, the carbon in this humus is actually going to serve as food to push the process. It's going to give them something to eat while they're in there brewing. And this also has what are called humic acids on a molecular level. So the humic acids in here have a negative charge, and nutrients in the soil often has a positive charge. So what the humic acids are going to do is they're going to bind to the nutrients and they're going to hold them in the soil so that they're readily available for the plants. The really interesting part is that plants actually have a negative charge as well, but their charge when they need nutrients is stronger than the charge that holds from the humic acid. So the humic acid will release it when the plant needs it. That nutrient will be readily available in your soil instead of being washed off. In the end run, you'll need less nutrients to actually put in your soil, you'll save money, and you'll also have a healthier ecosystem. So the next thing I want to tell you guys is about price, of why I decided that I was going to start brewing tea myself at home instead of buying concentrate or buying it. I was actually getting a lot of times off of Amazon. So this bag of earthworm castings cost me $10.99. I purchased it online from Peaceful Valley, which is groworganic.com, and I paid $10.99 for this bag. Now out of this bag, I will use 6 cups in my compost tea brew, and those 6 cups cost me around $2.06. Next, I have my humic acids. This is 2 quarts, this is a 2-quart bag, and it costs $5.99 when I purchased it. And I will use a tablespoon of this, meaning that it's going to cost me less than 5 cents to put this ingredient into my compost tea. Water was of course free. We have a rain barrel, and I'm using the non-chlorinated water from our rain barrel in order to brew the tea, so we didn't have to pay for that at all. And initially, when I was purchasing compost tea that was brewed online, I was paying $17 for a half gallon, and that didn't include the cost of shipping. So for less than $3, I am brewing 5 gallons of compost tea as opposed to paying somewhere around $25 for half a gallon. Now initially my compost tea brewer cost me about $85. I think there was like a $9 shipping fee in there that I bought from Tea Lab. It's made in the United States. There are a lot of different types of brewers out there. I just chose to use this one because it fits into a 5-gallon bucket. It seemed like it was really easy to clean, which it is very easy to clean, and it is very effective from what I've noticed. I haven't had any bad brews yet, and it was actually really cost effective compared to trying to make my own compost tea brewer. The kit was just a lot cheaper, and I knew that I was getting exactly what I needed. Now the compost tea brewer comes with the snake, and there is a hose that goes out to your air pump. And the air pump is what is going to create the aerobic environment inside of our brew. Also, it comes with a T-Lab bag that I will show you how to fill and hang and basically where it goes. And then I also readily keep available a bungee cord. I use this bungee cord to hold this down once it starts brewing. It moves around a lot. The bag likes to float out of the water. So in order to make sure that in the middle of the night this thing isn't going to pop out and make a huge mess in the garage, I just hold it down with a bungee cord. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 6 cups of my earthworm poop, and I am going to dump it in the bag. And a lot of it does come out, it does fall out, especially if it's fine. Some people use compost for this, so it's a little bit thicker. I've never done compost. I've always kind of stuck to earthworm tea, only because your compost can actually have negative bacteria in it depending on what it's made out of, and I never wanted to take the chance and spray that on something that I was initially going to either be fermenting or eating later, only because I don't want any bad bacteria to get into anything that I'm fermenting from the garden. It could wind up making me and my family very sick. So now I have 6 cups of earthworm castings, and I'm going to take 1 tablespoon of humus, and I'm just going to mix it in. I'm going to take the bag and I'm going to roll it down a few times, and then it has these clips. You're going to take these clips and you're going to snap them closed, and that is going to hold your bag closed. You have a hook here, which is going to attach to the ring on your T-Lab brewer, and here you can adjust how far it's going to hang into your water in your brew. So here I'm just going to hang it on. I'm going to drop it in. I'm going to take the hose and I'm going to hook the hose attachment up to my air pump, and I will be back in just a few moments. I'm actually going to move this down to the ground. I am going to fill it with some water from the rain barrel, and then I will show you how it works. Also, one thing that I forgot to mention to you guys yesterday is that you do not want to save this. If you try to save this, it is going to become anaerobic, and it is going to create bacteria that you don't want to have on any of your edible plants. So once you brew this, you need to use all of it at once, and it's done. Hey guys, it's been about 24 hours and the brewer is finally done. It is dark. It smells good. If your brew smells bad, you don't want to use it. That usually means something went funky with it. So really quick, I'm going to do 2 things with this brew. Oh, hi. I love you very much. Yes, I do. Your breath smells like barbecue. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we are going to take 2 things with this brew. The first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to take this container and I am going to do half brew, half water. And I'm going to feed this to the seed starts in their trays, and I'm going to dump it into the tray so that it goes up into the roots and into the plant. The next thing that I'm going to do is I am going to take this and I'm going to set this in about 6 ounces. I'm going to fill this completely with brew. I'm going to hook this up to the hose and set it so that it sprays at about 6 ounces. And I'm going to use this to spray our citrus trees, our magnolia trees, and I'm going to use this to spray some of the herbs that I've had over summering in the backyard that aren't looking too good. So if you have any questions, just send me a message, put on the links below.